The Galactic Council's betrayal of the stars had always been a source of wonder for Captain Elias Vance and his wife, Dr. Lillian Carter. As the first human diplomats to the Galactic Council, they had dedicated their lives to proving humanity's worth among the interstellar community. They had believed in peace. They had believed in the dream of unity among the stars, but dreams had a way of turning to nightmares. It began with a simple meeting. The Galactic Council had summoned them to the core assembly on Jareth Prime, the capital of the Alliance, a sprawling world of crystalline spires and bioluminescent oceans. Elias and Lillian had expected discussions of trade, technology, and potential alliances. Instead, they were met with cold silence. High Chancellor Vorik, an elder of the reptilian Dragery, stood before the Council's great podium, his golden eyes narrowed. "Humans are a threat," he declared. "A species too unpredictable, too violent. Your kind has spread like wildfire through the stars, and wildfire must be contained." Lillian stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "With respect, Chancellor, humanity has honored every treaty, every agreement. We have upheld our part of the alliance." Vorik's scales darkened. "And yet, war follows your species wherever it goes." He turned to the gathered ambassadors, towering insectoid THRWX, the elegant, silver-skinned Eldery, the mechanical Zenith Consortium. "We have all seen what happens when humans are allowed to grow unchecked. Their wars on Earth. Their conflicts on Mars. Even their rebellion against their own kind in the Jovian colonies. We tolerated them because we believed they could be tamed. But they cannot." A murmur spread through the assembly. Elias clenched his fists. "This is absurd. You're blaming us for our past, ignoring the peace we've upheld since joining the Council." Vorik's eyes gleamed. "Peace? Then why does your military build warships in the outer systems? Why do your scientists develop weapons more devastating than anything we've seen?" Lillian's heart pounded. "We have only sought to protect ourselves. The galaxy is dangerous. Pirates, rogue factions." Vorik raised a clawed hand, and the chamber fell silent. "The Council has decided," he said. "Humanity is to be removed." A shockwave of disbelief rippled through the hall. Lillian's breath caught. Elias took a step forward, his body tense, ready to fight. Then the alarms blared. Outside the massive glass windows of the Council chambers, a fleet appeared, dozens of warships, their hulls gleaming under the twin suns of Jareth Prime. But these were not human ships. They bore the insignia of the Galactic Council. A betrayal. Elias grabbed Lillian's hand. "Run." They sprinted through the corridors as chaos erupted behind them. Security droids turned their weapons on them. Alien guards shouted orders. The Council had not just declared war, they had prepared for it. The couple reached the docking bay, where their sleek diplomatic cruiser, the Starfire, was moored. But as they boarded, the bay doors slammed shut. Energy barriers flickered to life, sealing them in. A voice echoed through the speakers. "Vorik. You should not have come. You will not leave." Lillian raced to the ship's controls, overriding security codes. Elias grabbed the comms. "To any human ships, this is Captain Vance. The Council has turned on us. Get out, now." The ship's engines roared to life. Turrets emerged from the walls, opening fire. The first shot tore through their left thruster. The ship trembled. "Lillian!" Elias shouted. "I know." She rerouted power, firing up the emergency thrusters. The ship lurched forward, scraping against the energy barrier. Sparks flew. Warning sirens howled, then the barrier shattered. They shot into space, pursued by the Council's warships. Elias activated the weapons, returning fire as Lillian plotted a hyperspace jump. "Coordinates locked," she called. Elias pulled the trigger. A missile streaked behind them, detonating against a pursuing fighter. "Jumping now." The stars stretched into lines, and in a blink, they were gone. The Council had declared humanity a threat. Had turned against them, but Elias and Lillian were still alive. And they would make sure humanity survived. Defiance among the stars. The Galactic Council had long ruled the cosmos with an iron grip, believing themselves the ultimate arbiters of order and progress. For centuries, they had tolerated humanity, a young, defiant species that refused to bow. But when Leora and Dane Solace, a human couple, uncovered a secret that threatened to upend the entire interstellar order, the Council made its decision. They had to die. Hunted Leora and Dane hurtled through space in the Wayfarer, a sleek, modified corvette barely holding together after days of relentless pursuit. Behind them, a Council strike force, 3 massive dreadnoughts and a dozen hunter ships, closed in, their ion trails glowing like the eyes of predators. They're gaining, Dane growled, gripping the controls with white-knuckled intensity. The ship bucked as another energy beam grazed its hull. We just need to reach the relay station, Leora shot back, her fingers flying over the console, encrypting a final data packet. If we can broadcast this, the entire galaxy will know what the Council has done. The file contained undeniable proof. The Council had systematically exterminated civilizations that refused to submit. Not just humanity, but thousands of others wiped from history. Their entire crusade for galactic harmony was a lie. Another blast rocked the ship. Leora was thrown forward, barely catching herself. "Shields at 20%, she reported, her voice strained. "We won't last long," Dane muttered, eyes scanning the star map. "Nearest safe port?" "Zalora 9, Leora said, "but it's deep in contested space." Dane gritted his teeth. "Better than dying out here." He slammed the thrusters forward, sending the Wayfarer screaming toward the volatile sector. Behind them, the Council fleet adjusted course, relentless in their pursuit. Captured. The escape didn't last long. As the Wayfarer approached Zalora 9's orbit, a well-placed ion torpedo detonated against its stern, frying the ship's engines. The vessel spiraled downward, crashing into the barren surface of an abandoned mining colony. Dazed, Leora and Dane struggled to their feet as the ship's alarms blared. Through the shattered viewport, they saw dropships descending like steel vultures. "We're out of time," Leora whispered. They didn't even have a chance to run. The doors to the Wayfarer were blasted apart, and armored soldiers stormed in. Leora and Dane fought. Dane tackled one of the soldiers, wrestling for control of a plasma rifle, while Leora drew a concealed blade, slashing at another. But it was futile. A stun blast sent white-hot pain through Leora's body, and darkness swallowed her. When she awoke, they were in chains. The Council's judgment. The cold metal walls of the prison cell felt like they leached the warmth from her skin. Across from her, Dane sat slumped against the restraints, bruises forming across his face. A heavy door slid open with a hiss, revealing High Chancellor Osiris of the Galactic Council. His tall, serpentine form coiled into the room, black eyes studying them with detached amusement. "You humans are an anomaly," he mused, hands clasped behind his back. "Defiant. Reckless. And yet, you continue to fight against the inevitable." "You're afraid," Leora shot back, her voice hoarse but firm. "Afraid that the galaxy will see what you really are." Osiris chuckled. "Perhaps. But it does not matter. You will be executed at dawn. Your species will be declared rogue, and soon, humanity will be nothing more than another forgotten footnote in history." Leora's heart pounded, but she refused to show fear. Instead, she smirked. "That's the thing about humans," she said. "We never go down easy." The door sealed shut, leaving them alone in the dimly lit cell. The last stand time was running out. Dane tested his restraints, flexing against the metal bonds. "Got a plan?" he asked. Leora nodded. "I still have a tracker implanted in my wrist. If anyone's listening, they'll know where we are." "Who exactly do you think is listening?" She met his gaze, a fire burning in her eyes. "The Resistance." For years, whispers of rebellion had spread across the Council's territories, disparate groups of exiled species, outlaws, and defectors who sought to break the Council's rule. If their message had gotten out before their capture, there was a chance someone had heard it. Hours passed in silence. Then, suddenly, alarms blared. Explosions rocked the station. Dane grinned. "I think they got the message." The walls shook as the sounds of battle intensified. A deafening boom signaled a breach, and moments later, the cell door was blasted apart. A towering figure stepped through the smoke, a reptilian warrior clad in makeshift armor. "Humans," he growled. "You're coming with us." They didn't hesitate. Leora grabbed a fallen rifle, and Dane armed himself with a recovered blade. The battle raged through the halls of the station. Rebellion forces clashed with council soldiers, plasma fire lighting up the corridors. Leora and Dane fought side by side, cutting a path toward the hangar by. The time they reached it, the rebel fleet was already departing. A massive warship, the Requiem, loomed overhead, its hull adorned with the sigils of a dozen liberated races. As they boarded, the reptilian warrior turned to them. "You started this war," he said. "Now, you fight with us." Leora and Dane exchanged a glance. There was no hesitation. The battle for the galaxy had only just begun.